All right, so a couple months ago, I did a demo video for Overloud's THU product. I did promo work for Overloud years ago, over 10 years ago, playing for them at NAMM and stuff like that. And I wanted to check out the new updated THU. So I actually reached out to them asking if I would do a demo video, if they could send it over to me. The funny thing is, the unfortunate thing is that once I got it, I was having such trouble getting a decent tone out of it. And I was surprised and shocked because it's supposed to be like one of the best modelers out there for so many different amps and pedals and everything, and I was just having a lot of trouble getting a decent tone out of it. Now, I knew I was probably doing something on my end. I knew I was missing something because to me the tone just wasn't what I was expecting. So the other day I decided to play around with it a little bit more. I was convinced I could get a good tone out of this, and I discovered something that made a huge change, a huge impact to the sound, and I want to show you guys just so that maybe if you're playing around with a plugin like this one, or any other ones, something to be careful of, because I did not notice this. I did not recognize this. Let's pull up a 5150 amp here. So if I pull up the amp, as you can see here, just adjust some of the knobs just for fun. This is how it sounds right now. And to me, that sounds okay. It sounds pretty good, but to me, it's not what I was expecting. I want that like in your face, the amp is in the room with you, that true authentic tone that I'm looking for. Because if I'm doing some recording, I want it to sound as if I'm mic'd a 5150 in the room, right? So to me, that's not yet the tone I was expecting. So I was messing around with everything, input levels and all the different, options, and even reading up on it, of trying to figure out where I was missing out on here. So this is what happened, is the other day I started changing the mic right here on the cab, which can drastically change your tone. Listen to the difference here. It's like changing all the EQ on the amp. It makes for a totally different tone. So then I started changing where the condenser mic is here. And as you can hear, nothing's happening. So I was like, wait, has this mic been off this whole time? Like, is that mic not on? Because looking at the screen right here, it's hard to tell that this one is not on. And it also took me a second to figure out how to turn it on, because if you click on it, if you click on the mic, it just gives you different mics that you can change it to. So if you click on the cab, then it opens up, your microphone options here. And you can see that this one here, the condenser mic, is all the way off. So it means that it's only being mic'd by what would be like the Shure 57, which is a dynamic mic, which only really captures a certain frequency, a certain tone. You kind of need that condenser mic to open it up and let all that, kind of airy, true sound in. So listen to the huge difference here as I turn this mic up. Turning it up to 0 dB just so that it matches the other mic, so it's a perfect blend. But to me, that sounds like 100 times better. And immediately I was like, that's the tone I've been looking for. And I also felt like an idiot at the same time that I did not notice this before, that mic is turned off. And I moved the mic just to the suggested point. I guess it's a suggested point because the mouse kind of stops in that area. But again, that sounds way better than when it's all the way down. Not just quieter, by the way, but a different tone, a different frequency. So now when you turn that up, I'm so glad I figured this out, because it sounds 100 times better. So yes, I felt kind of stupid when I figured this out, but also just, you know, to make me feel a little bit better here. As soon as you put any different amp, so now let's use like the Mesa dual rectifier. So I'm using the dual rectifier with the matching cab, but notice that mic is back to being off. That mic is again off. So anytime you upload a new preset or a new amp, it's back to that mic not being on. Which again, just to me gives you that kind of like muted, muffled tone that it almost sounds like it's being recorded with a blanket over it. Not that true, authentic, you know, Mesa tone that I'm expecting, kind of in your face kind of sound. But let's move that mic to that little suggested spot on the speaker and turn it all the way up, or to 0, I should say. Huge difference in tone. So ever since I figured this out, I've been using this software every day since and really liking it. Again, I feel kind of like an idiot not having figured that out before, but it makes a huge difference. And the main reason that I'm making this video is not only to update my opinion of this software and this plugin and think that it's actually great and has great tone. I think the cab and the mic option is an often overlooked page on any of these plugins. You know, when it comes to tone, everyone's always talking about, you know, the guitar and the pickups and the amp, but you get a lot of the tone from your electric guitar from the speakers in the cab and the microphone miking that cab, and also the placement, because again, if I change that where that condenser is on the cab, totally different tone in terms of treble, bass, and mid of where that mic is placed. So it just goes to show when that mic is turned off, it's a drastically different tone. It almost doesn't matter the pickups or the wood or the amp that you're using. You're probably not going to get that great tone. Of course, you can always save these as your own presets to make sure that mic is on, but when you're changing presets or loading a new amp, just be aware that that mic, at least for me and my platform here, is always turned off. So I have to manually turn it on and place it in the right spot on the amp. Just before we're done here, I want to show you an amp that I really like in this software. Is this Randall Lynchbox amp here. So again, load it up, turn that mic on, and place it in the correct spot. Now let's turn up the gain a little bit more treble. You can hear, also turn up the level of the amp itself. I've really liked the tone of this amp, but I've been playing around with this quite a bit. And again, with Overloud's THU, you have, like, you know, every pedal you could possibly want modeled here. So if I pull up some delay to throw on, because especially if you're doing a lead tone, it's always nice to have a bit of delay. Just has a really nice, again, that tone that I've been searching for, that like raw, authentic, you know, amp in the room with you kind of tone. One thing that I always add to lead tones, by the way, just if you're interested here, is a little bit of reverb, especially in the mix of a song. If you're putting it to a backing track or something like that, it makes a huge difference having just a little bit. that's some great tone. And again, just going back to the amp itself. So my updated opinion is that this plugin is awesome. I love it. I've been having so much fun, you know, making some new presets and stuff, and felt kind of, you know, dumb that I didn't notice that before, that the mic was off, but you know, it looked on, okay? So if you're checking out the Overloud THU, make sure that's on. If you're checking out any other plugin, just, you know, check the mics on the cab. This has some serious tones in it, and I'll definitely be using this for recording and stuff like that from now on. So check it out, and I'll see you guys in the next video.